we got here in Vegas. Just got done with SLS. Had a good event at SLS with Ricky Davis, Rashad McCants, Brian Cook. Ask me your questions if you got some about the Big 3 or about the fight. If you got questions about that, I can give you all sorts of insight into the Big 3 championship. Maybe not so much the fight. We'll see. We'll see. Whew. Oh, I gotta run here. Damn. Alright. Out here in Vegas. Got airplanes coming in. We got construction. Decided to take a long walk. Decided to take a walk. No taxi for me this time. And I'll just go without. Thinking, ask me your questions about the Big 3 if you got some. Just go ahead and shoot them my way if you have a minute. I usually don't do these Periscope type of things, but just decided that I figured I would do it. I was at SLS earlier today, rocking with the Big 3, Ricky Davis, Rashad McCants. Ricky Davis had some blow up inner tubes, and man, he's ready for the pool. He's ready to hit the pool. But is Iverson still playing? Not really, no. He is now just coaching at this point. I believe he'll be in attendance in Vegas. But yeah, Iverson, no, he's been coaching. He's been coaching, and you know, he's not. This weekend, it's championship weekend, so no Allen Iverson this weekend, anyways. But I believe he is here, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what we got going on with the Big 3 championship. We got the fight weekend. Just walking down the street. I got a battle with Michael Rappaport and Brian Scalabrine tomorrow night. We got a game of red, because we got a little red hair here. Got a little red hair with Michael Rappaport. Got a little red hair, obviously, with Brian Scalabrine. So a game of red. Got to figure out how I'm going to be able to beat those two. But I'll be honest, Rappaport's game, it doesn't scare me as much as Brian Scalabrine's. I'll tell you that. Chances we're going to see an extended season next summer, I have no idea. That's a real good question. I think they'll look at all opportunities. I think at this point, it was a huge success this year. You know, obviously you have all the sold out arenas, you have just the fans, the incredible support, the people surrounding this. I wrote a story earlier today on Diamond Up Rocks, but it's an incredible experience. If you haven't been able to go out to a game, I really recommend it. Whether it's Vegas, whether it's next season, I highly recommend it. You don't get the same atmosphere on television. It's still cool on TV, don't get me wrong, but the atmosphere in arena is better than NBA basketball, in my opinion. You get fans who are hyped up. They're seeing their favorite players. They're seeing their favorite coaches do it again. And it's just a sight to be seen. The activity level, the amount of games, the amount of action. See it all. Well, that's a good question. Subscription service, I think, you know, they're actually going to be, from what I hear, live streaming the event on Fox Sports' Facebook, potentially. So I think that's definitely an option out here at this point. I know that basically what I was told is that the third and fourth place game will be used with Fox Sports 1's like social coverage, essentially. So they'll be using it either with Twitter or Facebook. So be on the lookout for Facebook Live tomorrow, because Saturday, because FS1 probably will have this going on, and be very interesting to see that go down. How's Vegas weather right now? Man, it's actually pretty good. I'm wearing jeans and a t-shirt, and it's actually not too bad. I was at SLS earlier today. It was real sunny, really hot. I regret wearing jeans because I was drenched in sweat, and I was with obviously a couple other people, Rashad McCants, Ricky Davis, Brian Cook, a couple others in attendance as well. It was fun. It was a good time today. But you look at the Big 3 championship coming up. Oh man, I got this question I got to answer first though. This is a good one. Favorite former player you've chatted with so far? I got to say today, Brian Cook, man. Brian Cook is an interesting guy. Former LA Laker. He's got a lot going on. He's a really, really nice, down-to-earth guy. All these guys are. That's kind of the difference. I mean, look, I like NBA guys for sure. A lot of those players take time out of their day to spend with people. But the Big 3, this is like a family, man. Everyone you stop by, everyone you say hi to, everyone you've talked to, they come back, they say, yo, you know, what's up? They chat with you. Everyone here is always happy. They're always interested in talking to you. They're always interested in keeping up with things. And I think that's what sets this apart. I mean, along with obviously the play and the style and the 3-on-3 and just all the different things that are involved, I think these players, they want to be here. It's not so forced. You know, sometimes the NBA, I feel like there's players who are down the bench who aren't really having the greatest of times because they're not playing. These guys, doesn't matter how much they're playing, they're just having fun. They're enjoying it. They're balling out. They're doing what they love to do again. And a lot of these guys didn't get the full opportunity to play NBA basketball. A lot of them got cut short. A lot of them had an opportunity elsewhere and just didn't take full advantage of it, or maybe it was just an unfortunate series of events that got them outside. But I think when you look at this league, like I said, that's what separates it. All these guys love playing basketball. That's why they're here. It's not about money. It's not about fame. It's not about any of that. They'll set aside all the time in the world. Like I said in the article that I posted today, Gary Payton's sitting in a Seattle hotel, arguably the most iconic Seattle basketball player, and he's sitting in the Seattle hotel. People are coming up to him. He's taking pictures. He's signing autographs and doing it with happiness. Like, you don't see that anymore. You don't see that. And I think these guys are real humble. I think they're all very nice in their own different ways. And I think that's what really has separated this league. Every single player I talk to has been fun to talk to. There isn't one guy I'd say like isn't. But today I spent a lot of time with Brian Cook. I enjoy what he was talking about. We were talking about the Kyrie Irving trade and, you know, his career obviously, and a bunch of other things. And yeah, I mean, every player has their own story. It was hilarious. We had me, McCants, Ricky Davis, and we're all sitting there and chatting about the Kyrie Irving trade, and guys are like, how could they trade Kyrie Irving? How could they trade Kyrie Irving? You know, and they were all joking around about it, and just like, you know, they did IT real dirty. Like, how does this happen in the NBA? So so often, it's just real dirty. But yeah, man, it's been fun. I mean, it's just an enjoyable experience that's unlike anything else, and I highly recommend that you go see Big 3 basketball on FS1. Y'all have any more questions about the Big 3 or about the fight weekend? I'm happy to answer your questions about the fight if you want, but I'm not the fight expert, but I'll give you my opinion on the two fighters, and I actually can give you some insight into what the players were talking about the fight too, because I found it very interesting. Some of these players did not have the answers I expected them to. So if you want answers on anything, just shoot me a question. I'll try and answer it. I'll probably be on here about five or so more minutes, and I got to get running. But any players that you've seen that could still play in the NBA today, honestly, I think there's 3 or 4 guys that could probably play in the NBA today. You look at Andre Owens, he's putting up incredible numbers. And I think Andre's been spectacular in the league. Brian Cook is another guy, like, he lit it up in LA, and he's very versatile. He can shoot the three-point shot very, very efficiently and stretch the floor. And yeah, I mean, I think those two guys, I think Rashad McCants obviously has been very, very good. Al Harrington. I mean, the list goes on. I think they could all get some training camp invites. I think they could all play at the NBA level if they really wanted to. I think they enjoy this league, though, and I think that's why part of them says, you know what, I'll just stay here because, look, they're doing what they love. They don't have to do it as often. There's not as much wear and tear on their bodies. So, yeah, I do think there's some guys in the NBA. Thoughts on the fight. So some of these players, yeah, it's interesting. Rashad McCants said, I think if McGregor comes out guns a-blazing, like really going at him, that McGregor wins this fight. Because he said that Mayweather has never seen a fighter like that. So I think that would be, I think that was an interesting answer. I just don't expect that. Everybody's talking about Mayweather just killing him, destroying him. McCants was very, very vocal and honest about thinking that McGregor could win this fight. Kyrie to the Celtics thoughts. It was hilarious. So we're all sitting there. Ricky's like, how could you trade Kyrie? How could you trade Kyrie? That's ridiculous. Like, blah, blah, blah. He got you to the finals. Like, all this other stuff. And, and everybody was saying the same thing. Like, how could you do that to both players? Because, well, first of all, I think Ricky was more upset that Kyrie even requested a trade. Like, just get your panties in a bunch, deal with it. But I'll say what the other guys were saying was, how could you trade IT? After all he'd done for that city, after all he'd done for that franchise, how could you trade him? And I understand, they understood it was a business, but they thought it was, they thought it was crazy. Obviously, everybody's talking about that move. It's still a blockbuster deal. Everybody knows my opinion on it. To me, it's a good move for both teams. Did I think either of them needed to do it? No. I think they would have been fine without. So I think you look at the situation there, and I think both teams won the trade, I guess you could say. I don't think there's one team that really won out. If there's one team that I could choose, it would be Cleveland, I think, because, well, they got three potential players for one. And when you look at Kyrie Irving, there's not that much of a difference between him and IT, in my opinion. Aside from defensively, obviously, there's a little bit better gap there. I think Kyrie Irving obviously has the clutch genes. He's got the championship mentality. But I think when you look at it from both sides, it's smart. Boston knew that they needed to pay IT. They didn't want to. So I think that's where you look at this trade and you look at the deal and you say, okay, it makes sense on Boston's end. On Cleveland's end, they know LeBron may be gone. So if you're looking at it that way, you got to try and build for the future. And they get a pick. They get Jay Crowder, who's a very, very versatile, defensive-minded player. And then you also get, obviously, IT. So I think it was a good deal for both teams. All right, I'm almost to my destination here. I'm headed to the Hard Rock to get a little bit of food. And then, I don't know, I think a lot of the players are going to Rick Ross tonight. So I may end up headed to that, depending on the situation. I don't know. I may not have a pass to that sort of thing, though. Got to ask Ricky Davis here because, man, he's... He was the one talking about it, so I don't know. I mean, whatever works out, I guess, is going to happen. But I think, yeah. So I'm here, Vegas, for the BIG3 Championship. You guys have any other questions, let me know. Got about 2 minutes before I got to get off of this thing. So, it's been a long day. I got in at about 12:30 at night last night. Tonight, technically, today. I got in at 12:30. Yeah, it was crazy, actually. There was some lightning on the flight, which was nuts. So, like, when I was in the air, there was lightning, like, right next to us. So, I've never been on a flight where lightning is going on and, like, a thunderstorm is taking place. So that was kind of crazy. But as far as the BIG3 Championship goes, you've got Trilogy, undefeated still, and you've got Three-Headed Monsters. And Three-Headed Monsters got the X Factor, and this is what Ricky Davis was talking about. He was saying the X Factor is Kwame Brown, and I think that's definitely true. I think in this case, Kwame Brown's going to be the X Factor in this game because he's the only guy who really can play at that length and size against guys like Al Harrington and company. Rashard Lewis is going to do his thing. You already know he's going to score points. You already know he's the MVP of this league, so he's going to bring it every night. You know Mahmoud is going to bring it. You know their team at Basden. You know Gary Payton's going to be prepared. But if you look at what Trilogy brings, they've got a bunch more size. So you've got to figure out a way to really to keep it in check. Guy like Al Harrington, I mean that's the tough part of this matchup. Trilogy has a guy like Al Harrington on their team who can knock down jump shots, who can play inside out. And it's very difficult to defend that guy because he's big, but he can also hit that, mid-range jumper, outside jumper. So for Kwame Brown, he's just going to have to try and figure out ways to exploit them. And if they can do that, I think Three-Headed Monsters has a really good chance of winning this game. Do I think it happens? I don't think so. I think Trilogy is going to win this game. I think they are going to be the best team. And obviously an undefeated season, which would be incredible in the first season of the Big Three. I don't think we'll see that ever again if it happens. But you look at the Big Three, you look at the championship, you look at what's coming. It's coming on Saturday. Mayweather-McGregor on Saturday, right after the Big Three. It's crazy. It's going to be nuts. How old am I? 25. I look like I'm 15 is what Michael Rappaport says. But that's, don't take Michael Rappaport's word for it. Take everybody else's. It's true. I look like I'm 15, but I'm 25. That's fine. I don't mind you guys saying that. I don't mind the disgrace there. When I'm 40, I'll be laughing at all you guys when I look like I'm 25. So, headed over, just walking through Vegas right now, trying to get to Hard Rock to get some grub before a long night, hopefully, of hosting a podcast and doing a couple other things. Got done hosting at SLS. It was great. Had a bunch of people out there. It was very fun. But now I'm going to get some food, and that'll be that. Appreciate all the love from everybody, all the support. I'll be back here if you guys want. You just request it, you ask for it, and I'll answer your guys' questions. You let me know, and I'll be around. So, thanks a lot for tuning in.